Hey guys, Louis again, back in Grenada. Today we're going to be refreshing the dolphin seats. You're going to see they really need it. Yeah, so as you can see, they're very weathered. They're exposed to the sun and of course the salt water year-round since 2015. They do look original. Very easy to remove. You just got 4 holes on the bottom and it's all Phillips screws. So let's get started. So you make sure you put your hand underneath to catch the screw. So the 4th one fell into the tube, so we're going to try to fish it out somehow. So these picks are a must-have on a boat for all kinds of different jobs. In this particular case, we're removing a screw that fell into the tube. Straightforward enough. We got our 4 screws in the plate. Bring this back to the cockpit. Well, we got our 2 dolphin seats here. What we're going to be using is the orbital. You can see they're really rough. The wood is really rough. I wouldn't want to be sitting on that at all. So I've got 2 papers here, 2 orbital sander, dry sand obviously. So one is 120 grit. Should have enough of 1 of each. So one is 120 and then we finish with 220. Okay, you see the difference. Gonna do the edges. Keep the bottom for the end. By now the paper is a little bit tired. So what? Oh, you want me to do that too? Bring it in. Okay, so we have another cutting board. This is a working cutting board, not for food, so we're going to clean that out too. So the bottom part we do last just because the paper is getting tired and it doesn't matter that much if it's super clean. You can see the green where the wood was touching the stainless frame. We also have to go clean the frame itself because there is some green stuff, which is algae, also on the stainless steel before we put it back in. So we're just going to use alcohol to wipe that down. Okay, so now we'll start over from the top part with the 220. So we moved to St. George Anchorage. It was getting way too rolly on the other side of the island. Still in Grenada as always. It's a very rainy day today. It's a good time to do some epoxy. We got our epoxy resin right here and the hardener. What we have is fast cure, so we're gonna have to be working fast with that one. It's got a pot life of about 10 minutes. So we got a mixing pot right here. We're going to be using the small one, not the big one. And we got a roller to do the finishing. And what I'm going to do is just 1 coat of resin on the bottom part, and then the top part, what we're going to do after the 1 coat, put 4 screws in it, just so that we have something to lean it on, to put it on when we're doing the top part. Top part, we're going to be putting at least 2 coats on it. We'll see how it goes. There you go. Okay. So yeah, same thing. Okay, so 5 to 1. So 5 parts of 105. And all these cups, they have numbers and stuff that you can work with, so super easy to measure. And always have paper and alcohol handy. These have been cleaned with alcohol already. Let's put the screws in. So just put some on the edge of the roller to do sides. One more of the same. Okay, so let's add some more here. Putting it on very thick. This thing usually cures in about 6 hours, but we're gonna let it cure for a minimum of 12. Okay, so now we let it sit, we let it even out and let it dry for a day. So I just removed the roller and it was like really packed with epoxy. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's actually smoking. It's so hot, so I can't put this in the garbage. Gotta let it cure first. So we are back after a few days. This has dried properly. You can see that, okay, we got an issue with it. We got a lot of air bubbles on it. Maybe you can see it in the sun. So it's not smooth. It looks, in the shade, it looks like nice mirror finish, but it's actually not. So I've looked online, I've looked at some YouTube videos, and we're gonna sand it down first. We're gonna sand it to make it all nice and smooth again. Just to take those bubbles out. I got a 240 on here, a new paper, 240. And then we're gonna put a new coat of epoxy. I've got, the fast hardener. We're gonna use the slow hardener on this one. We got some slow hardener right here. So we're gonna use that instead of the fast one. And what I'm gonna do is just put a nice thick coat. And then we're gonna use this heat gun. And from what I've seen, using the heat gun on fresh epoxy will basically get rid of all the bubbles. So I'm gonna try that and see how that goes. So the heat gun takes a lot of energy, so I'm hooking it up at the outlet for the induction stovetop, because that's an outlet that I put in that's actually 20 amp instead of 15 amps. This could probably blow a fuse if I put it on the 15 amp. So the wire is very big on the heat gun itself. So my wire that I put in there is actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 12 gauge wire. So it's way bigger, and it's 20 amp fuse. So this is where we're going to be doing the heating once I'm finished. 240 grit. Let's see what we can do. So I'm not worried about the bottom part. I mean, it's all bubbly and stuff, but you know, nobody's gonna see that, so it's not worrisome at all. Just want to fix the top. It's a first anyways. Good thing is if I do mistakes, you guys won't have to repeat it. So we're also gonna do the sides, because probably won't see it in the video, but it just drank everything off. The first coat was just, it penetrated very deep, so it doesn't look like it's really sealed on the edges. So we're gonna put another coat on the edges. 5-to-1. So let's see if we can do anything with the heat gun, because there's tons of bubble in there, tons of bubbles. She does not want to be on film. Oh, there you go. My invisible wife. I'm not seeing the result I wanted. Not really smooth. Okay, I'm back with the latest results. You can see tons of bubbles again. So yeah, I'm using a roller that has too much, that leaves too much lint on it. Most probably it's making bubbles and stuff. So I got this super cheap nylon brush. And so we're gonna sand it down again using a 120 paper, sand both of them down and do a light coat this time with the cheap paintbrush, going very lightly on it. Just different stuff. I spoke to a friend of mine, and he's built his own boat in France. So this is why I want to try this. He recommended the paintbrush instead of a roller. So let's see the result. It looks much better at first glance. I'm also trying to make it thick, so not pressing down too much on the paintbrush. So this one is looking 100 times better than before. It's hard to say until it dries. So at first glance, it's perfect. Now we're just gonna let it dry for another day, and we'll be back tomorrow to see the result. All right, so this is the result of the third try. Not perfect, not 100%, but I would say about 90-95%. It's smooth enough. We can see dimples, but they're actually kind of pinholes and not like bumps. There's a few bumps like here on the sides, but it's not major. And the pinholes, I mean, I can live with that, no issues. I would say it's 100 times better than when we started. So I'm gonna go and clean the stainless frame up front with alcohol, and we're gonna put these back in. Tricky part, you want to put the screw in. Be super careful not to drop it, because if it falls inside the tube, it's going to be hard to get back once we have 1 or 2 screws in there. So like I was saying, be careful not to drop the screw, because now it's actually stuck. Well, it's inside the pipe, so I'm gonna get the pick and try to pull it out. Okay. So here's the finished product. Nice and smooth. You gotta be comfortable. Gonna put maybe some wax on it. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll put some wax on it. Hopefully it will keep it nice and shiny for a long time. So, again, from Grenada, feel free to drop a comment, like the video. We'll see you next time.